Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about preventing default behavior in JavaScript. But before we dive into the code, let's understand what preventing default behavior means. So why do we need to prevent default behavior? Well, sometimes we want to customize how a browser behaves when an event occurs. For example, we might want to submit a form without reloading the page or prevent a link from navigating away from our application. There are several methods we can use to prevent default behavior. Let's take a look at some of them. One of the most common ways to prevent default behavior is by using the prevent default method. This method prevents the browser from performing its default action when an event occurs. Another way to prevent default behavior is by using the stop propagation method. This method stops the event from propagating up the DOM tree. Let's take a look at a practical example of how to prevent default behavior. In this case, we're going to prevent the default form submission. Here's a flowchart that shows how preventing default behavior works. When preventing default behavior, it's easy to make mistakes or have misconceptions about how it works. Let's take a look at some common ones. In this video, we covered what preventing default behavior means and why it's used in JavaScript. We also explored various methods for preventing default behavior and took a look at a practical example. If you want to learn more about preventing default behavior, I recommend checking out the following resources. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or need further clarification, please leave a comment below.